Hey everyone, I'm Trish, and you're at Trish's Creative Treasures. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing pretty good. I've been cut out some material for some bags today. I figured I'm not going to sew them today, because once I get involved in sewing, I don't want to have to stop till I'm done. So I decided to just cut out the fabric today, and I don't know if I'll get to sew them tomorrow. It's not like we do anything. When I was with Draken's father for New Year's Day, Dutchies believe that eating pork and sauerkraut brings good luck. So I would have to make a ton of pork, sauerkraut, mashed potatoes, corn, the works. You know, it's a Pennsylvania traditional dinner for New Year's Day. Well, Jim could care less, so we're gonna have chili. I was actually gonna make a big pot of chili tonight, and then I got like pizza rolls and taquitos and buffalo chicken dip, snacky stuff. You know, we got chips, pretzels, all that kind of stuff. But well, we thought Raven and her boyfriend Brandon would be home, but apparently it's just going to be me, Jim, and Draken. And we're not going to eat a bunch of food tonight, so I said instead of making the chili tonight and then having to put it away and then wash the dish that I cooked it in today for tomorrow, just put it back in there to be able to heat it up, because I'm just going to make some in the roaster oven and then I'll can whatever's left. But yeah, no, I don't want to go through that tonight. If I don't have to, I just said we just throw in some taquitos and some pizza bites for tonight. We can just eat that, the three of us. You know, we'll probably sit up here, watch a movie or whatever. Well, Jim likes to watch ball drop and all that, so since I don't have cable at my house, he has cable, but I use his Wi-Fi. We're together, but even when he was with his wife Donna before she passed away, since I've lived here in this house since 2009, so they use my trash service and I use their Wi-Fi. So it's still just, you know, it doesn't matter now because I would have it no matter what. But yeah, I'm just gonna probably watch my stuff that I watch on my TV. I started watching a good series last night on Hulu, whether anybody else has watched it yet or not, but it's called The Exorcist. Now that is awesome. Yeah, it starts out kind of slow in the beginning, but the more it goes, the better it gets, and then it kind of like at the end of season 1, it puts like a twist to it. It's like, oh. But yeah, I have to watch like the last 2 episodes for season 1, and then there's season 2. So that's probably what I'll watch tonight after I'm done watching everybody else's podcast. So what I'm on here for today, right now, is it's New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. But I've never been a person to make goals, because if I don't make goals, I don't have to be accountable for myself. And I never stick to doing what I want. It's because I get scatterbrained and then I forget about things. It's like all day I've had a hard time, like I'll have a thought in my head to like go on my phone and look something up, and then I grab my phone and I'm like, what do I want to look up? Like I can't remember. I'm like, this is getting to be ridiculous with my brain. You know, between the Lyme in my brain, the fibromyalgia that messes with your brain, and then I'm on a lot of pain meds, and I have my medical marijuana card, so I use that one. I need to as well. So my brain is pretty well on stupid half the time, just to help alleviates a little. It doesn't even take the pain all the way, like on everything. If somebody would take the amount of medications I take for pain at one time, they would probably go into a coma. But I've been taking them for about 10 years now, so I'm pretty well immune to them. When I don't have them in me, I can tell. Like first thing in the morning when I get up out of bed, I can barely freaking move, and the pain is like phenomenal. Well, not phenomenal. Phenomenal means in a good way. It's unbearable. But once I take my pain meds and it sits in me, you know, it takes about an hour or 2 till I feel any relief, but then I'm good. I mean, I've got pain, but on a normal day, it's manageable. on these since it's been last week, ever since last week. And here where I'm at in PA, it's been warm, 50s and 60s, like what the heck, and it's been doing nothing but freaking raining. And my backyard, like I said to you yesterday, is nothing but a mud pit. It's raining out now. I can see it kind of dripping out my window here. But anyways, like I said, it's New Year's Eve, so happy New Year's Eve, everybody. If you are all going out tonight, be safe. And if you see something flying around, I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. Stink bugs. Do you guys all live in an area where there's stink bugs? I mean, because right here's the wall to the outer part of my house, and then you got the field, which is all open because that's where everybody has to park their cars. But then there's the woods, and then the woods go up all along the back of the house. You can see the stink bugs coming in like swarms. Like you can see like a cloud of them coming across into the woods. And then I remember the first year we lived here, I came home from work and my house didn't look like a red brick house anymore. It looked like it was brown and it was moving. It was stink bugs covered my house. And then to open up the door to go in, it's like a million went in. They're not nowhere near as bad as what it was. I mean, they've gone down a lot, but I guess it's now starting to get cold enough out now that they're coming to look for heat, which normally they would have done that in October already, but here we are going into January and it's still warm out. I mean, we've had a few cold days, but nothing major. It's been between 40s and 60s lately. So, but anyways, I want to talk about some goals because I am giving myself goals this year so I can hold myself accountable. And if I can't hold myself accountable because I know how I get lazy and then just be like, forget it, I don't feel like it, blah, blah, blah. No, I want to be held accountable. I want to be able to follow through with things. Stick to something I start and finish it, which means next week we're going to get out my huge bag of whips. We're going to go through it. And we're going to make sure Trish finishes her whips. I need some coffee. Oh, Drake can put way too much creamer in there. It doesn't even taste like coffee. It tastes like creamer. And I've explained to him, like, you don't need that much creamer if it looks milky white. That's creamer. I'm not drinking coffee. I'm drinking creamer. But then if I don't drink it, he gets really upset with me. He's like, oh, fine, you don't want to drink what I made. Boys. Alright, guys. So, let's get into this, shall we? So, these are goals that I'm going to set for 2022. The majority of them, yes, are for my craft. Some of them are for my channel. And some of them are for me personally. Because there's going to be a lot of changes going on in my life this year, whether I want it to change or not. Pretty much though, it's what I want. You know, it's the choice has been mine to get the surgery and to make my life a little bit easier. So yeah, for the better. I mean, it may be a rough road, I don't know, but anyways, these are some of the ones I wanted you to build and work on my craft, okay? I want to learn how to do graph GANs. I see them, I like them, but I'm always like, they intimidate me, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know if any of you remember Petra from Foxy Creations. Oh my gosh, the blankets that she would do. That It one and the Daryl one from The Walking Dead, and she just did gorgeous blankets, you know, with graph and single crochet. It's like, oh, that would take me ages to do, and she would just whip them out. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so yes, that's one. I want to stop being intimidated by things. I just want to be like, I'm going to do that, I'm going to conquer it, and we're going to be alright. Another thing I want to learn is Tunisian crochet. I see such beautiful things come out of that, and so I have never tried it, but that is on my to-do list, is the Tunisian crochet. one of the things that I've been dying to make for a few years now is the Lotus Blanket by Hooked by Robin. So that is on my to-do list of something to make, is the Lotus Blanket. I would also like to learn the pineapple stitch, because I'd like to make a pineapple shawl, and I would love, if not this year, next year. So I'll start it this year and go into next year, because I think it would take me forever to do it, but I would love to make a pineapple stitch tablecloth. Yeah, I think that would be absolutely beautiful. Another thing I want to do is be able to do amigurumi. Half my problem with amigurumi is I've got such arthritis in my hands anymore and carpal tunnel that it's so hard to do the small stitches. But if I use the bigger yarn and I could use a 5mm, that should be okay. But with amigurumi goes into another goal of mine, is to be able to learn to read patterns. Like, when I read a pattern, it's like I'm reading Chinese. Like, I understand what certain things mean, but I've always had an issue with reading and comprehending in my brain what that just said. I usually have to read, like, if I had to read a paragraph, I would have to read it 5-6 times till it comprehended in my brain what that paragraph just said. So that's something with myself that I need to learn to conquer, and to be able to read patterns. I mean, I have a huge notebook folder of patterns that I buy. I buy them all the time because I like them, and I keep saying one day I'm going to be able to make this. So I have a huge binder that I keep all my patterns in that I print off, you know, that I bought. And I have a ton of books that I've bought that just sit here. I can't use them because I don't know how to read the pattern. So yes, I'm going to work on myself to get better with that and to learn to read a pattern. I want to get back into yarn dyeing. That's if I can afford to. Right now with my situation, things are not easy financially, but if I get a little bit here, a little bit there, we'll see. But yes, part of also my craft is I need to be able to find something that I can do, that I can make some money for my family, but yet is something that I don't physically have to hurt. Like, I physically can't do anything right now. I can't walk without like a walker, you know. I can't stand up straight on my own. I have to hold on to something. So it's like, I'm until I get the weight loss surgery done and both hips replaced, and then we go from there, not knowing if I'm going to need back surgery yet or not. So it's one thing at a time. But I do want to get back into yard dyeing, and so I need to be able to start being able to do something to be able to sell the things that I make, or something to be able to make something so I can afford to live and be able to afford to get stuff to be able to make, to be able to get some money, you know, to earn some money. All right, my other thing is I want to get better at sewing. So practice, and that's what I intend to do, is practice. I would love to become the sewer that my mother was. My mom could sew anything. She sewed our clothes when we were kids. She sewed my prom gowns. She sewed my Christmas formal dresses. She sewed, and she could do a beautiful job at it. And she sewed my maternity clothes. So that is something that I would like to be able to do that. You know, out of all of us in our family. Now my nieces, my brother's daughters, especially his oldest, Emma, she has a miraculous voice. I mean, it is just, she's a vocal coach, and she sings beautifully. So she gets that skill from my mother, and Emma's crafty and stuff, my other niece, but I've always been a singer. I've been the piano player. I used to play the French horn and the flute. You know, I've always been into music. Now music is just like I love to listen to music, and my genres go from all the way up top to down here. I mean, there's so much in between. There's some stuff I absolutely cannot stand, but then there's other stuff that I love that most other people be like, how can you listen to this? But either way, but I take after my mom in so many ways of crafting. My mom loved to do crafts. My mom loved music, you know, blah, blah, blah. I take after her with the canning and the preserving food, and I garden. So that'd be something you're going to come along with me too if you want. We're going to do some gardening this summer. Yep. I do seedlings. Well, I start everything by seed, and then I have my grow lights, and it's a mess. It is, but I have my greenhouse out back, so yep, this year we're going to start probably in March getting some seedlings going. And then just my other goal for myself for craft is to be able to learn as many new skills as I can. I mean, the more skills you have, the more knowledge you have. I think that's all around is great in life. So I want to get into eventually like paper crafting. I already do beading and stuff, like I can do that. I want to up my game on my crochet. I don't know if I want to learn to knit or not. I mean, I did at one point, but like knitting goes so slow, and therefore that goes into another one is for me is to learn my patience. I have no patience for squat whatsoever. Like, when I want something, I want it, and I want it now. Like, the wait for things. Yeah, so I need to learn patience. I really do. I need to learn to not let things aggravate me and get me worked up as quick as they do. Just to really be a full Hakuna Matata. I mean, for the most part, I am very much a Hakuna Matata person, but there's just certain things that just work on my nerves, like, that I just have no patience for. So I need to learn patience. Okay, for my channel, I need to practice, but I would like to learn to do some tutorials. Like some basic, I have a friend of mine, actually, she was best friend since high school, and she's on here. Hi, Chrissy! But heck, we haven't seen each other since we're 19, 20 years old. But I was saying, if, you know, to learn to be able to give tutorials for basic stuff, if anybody wanted that. She's like, yeah, me. So I guess there's people like that watch my channel that may need to learn some basic stuff, or even just a refresher course for some people. But yes, I would like to be able to learn to teach others how to do this. I probably won't go all out on a ton of tutorials and stuff, because I mean, really, how many double crochet teachings can you learn? I mean, there's just so many channels that do so many things of the same thing, and I don't want to be repetitive and the same as everybody else. I want to be able to find my own cliche, an old way of doing things. And eventually I would love to be able to learn to design wearables. I mean, I know I'm getting the bariatric surgery, but I still, because I've been heavy my whole entire life, and I know what it's like to not be able to find anything nice and fashionable in your size. You know, it's like, if you're fat, they think that you're, one, really tall, because fat women's pants, they're got mile-long legs. We say in our family that we got the short leg syndrome. I mean, got longer torsos, but these shorter legs. And I've always had an issue with finding pants that fit me, because they're always a mile too long, or if they're too long, not too long, then they're too short. You know, you just can't get that happy in between. So yes, I would still love to be able to design clothes for anybody of all sizes, and that means for bigger girls too, because, you know, as big girls, we need some pretty stuff too. We need love, you know. And it sucks. I mean, because like my Walmart now, like, you know how up at Walmart you have your blocks. You know, you have your juniors, your women's, you know, your active, and then you have your plus. Well, there used to be like a whole block section of plus size. Well, you know, in between each section, they have like that wall in between that has like clothing on either side of the wall. Usually, like, I know mine is where they put a lot of like the leggings and shirts that they hang up. You have the one side and the other side of that wall thing, and that's all they have now for plus size clothes at my Walmart. You don't have a block, you don't have nothing. Like, what happened? Like, why are they stopping to provide the plus size clothes? Because now if you want it, you either have to order it online, or we got to drive down to one of our Reading stores to get it. And no, I don't want to do that. So yes, I want to be able to design clothing. I want to be able to come up with some fun and interesting ideas. I would also like feedback from you all. Like, what would you like to learn from me? What would you like to do with me? What would you like to watch? How can I entertain you? Because I love to entertain. I love to be a goofball. Always have been. More like class clown type thing. I was, you know, like my friends from high school, they would always be like, "You're such a bad influence," but no, not me. No, I wasn't at first the bad influence, but I did probably become one at one point in time. But it was all out of fun, so we didn't get caught. Yeah, no. Now I'd kill my kids. No, I wouldn't kill them. You know what I mean? I would be like, if they did the things that I don't. My kids have done far worse than I ever have. Like, my oldest admits to me things that I'm like, really? She had tattoos that she left her friend. All right, then, the basket didn't want to be there. She left a friend of her give her tattoos that look like shite. At 16, 17, and she just always wore pants. She always wore, you know, something to cover it up. I didn't know till, like, after she was living with me and she was pregnant with Josie that she had tattoos. And I'm like, where did you get that ugly thing? Oh, I always had that. You didn't know. You know, and her stealing my alcohol that we blame somebody else for. You know, stealing my cigarettes. Like, yeah, she was bad. And now she's, like, totally nothing like she once was. Like, my middle daughter was the one I expected to become, like, the Hellraiser like that. And that my oldest daughter was going to be, like, the calm, collective one. No, they did a total switcheroo. So Kira hasn't done any of that stuff, and Dessa, she's like, been there, done that. So, I am, for right now, going to stick with on Wednesdays, with what's on your hook Wednesdays. And I would also like to do, like, finished object Fridays. So, and I also would like you guys too, like, if you've made something that you're proud of and you would want it displayed, I would gladly, if you email me a picture of what you would like to be displayed, I would gladly put it at the end of my video. Or you could always go over to the group page over on YouTube, Trisha's Creative Treasures, and you can gladly post everything. I would love to see what you all make. I would love to see your creativity and the beautiful things that you come up with. Alright. Another thing that's going to be a big thing with me this year that I hope y'all don't mind. I'm going on a whole new journey this year. In 3 months, my whole life is going to change. And I'm going to have to learn a new relationship with food. But in the meantime, I'm really going to shed weight. And it's really going to be a journey of something different for me. And I'm going to vlog that journey and share it with all of you. Because maybe I can touch somebody else out there that goes through the same thing that I do. I've had the issue my whole life where if I smell food, I'm going to gain weight. I don't even have to eat it. I don't even have to touch it. Just smell it. And now I've gained 5 pounds because I smelled that yummy cheeseburger, you know, like things that everybody else can eat, like that don't gain weight, or, you know, you don't know how lucky you are. You know, and I guess, like, I have a friend of ours here, like, she cannot gain weight for the life of her. And she eats, and she eats, and she eats, and no matter what she does, she just cannot gain weight. And she is skin and bones. She's had children, you know. She cannot gain weight. And I'm like, man, if I could just put a tube in me, put a tube in you, I would donate. You know, put a little in your butt, a little bit in your thighs. This is the stupid stuff that we talk about around here. But, yeah, like, I have so much flub, I would donate to anybody that wanted it. But I'm not getting the surgery because I'm ashamed of being heavy. I learned to accept that long time ago, that I learned to love me for me just the way that I am. But now that I'm getting older, the weight just, it just does not even move at all. It just stays there. And I never thought I would be as heavy as I am today. So it's time I have to do something about it, because I do want to be here and I want to live as long as I can, because I want to watch all my kids grow up. I mean, and Draken, I mean, my oldest daughter, she's 16 years older than Draken, you know, so whereas they're all grown up, my girls got their own lives for the most part. I have Draken and he's only 11, so I've got quite a few years of, you know, raising him yet. So I want to be there for when he gets married and when he has kids. You know, I would like to see my great-grandchildren. So that is vitally important to me, that I am able to stay a part of their lives. Let's see. So I said I want to become patient. And my other part is I am an unorganized person. When I clean, I will organize stuff, but then when I start using the stuff, or I don't put it away the way that it should, or I'll just kind of stuff it back on and make it look nice and organized, or like I'm scatterbrained and I know I should write stuff down and I don't write anything down, so therefore I forget what I'm talking about, or I forget what I need to do because my brain doesn't hold nothing in there. So I want to get my life, my home, anything that I can organized, try to make things a little bit easier on myself. I think once I can get off all these medications, I think a lot of my brain might come back. I mean, granted, I will have fibro fog brain and I still have Lyme in my brain, but I think a lot of my spaced out crap or forgetfulness is due to medications. I mean, I take narcotics, I take very high doses of gabapentin, and the medication for my fibromyalgia is a very high dose of Cymbalta. You know, I take, what else is there? There's Flexeril, I take my arthritis medicine, there's so much, and a lot of it, you know, side effect is memory loss. So, and weight gain. So there's another reason why I've been gaining weight, because ever since I got sick with Lyme and I got on all of these medications, I have been gaining weight rapidly. So yes, the past 4 years I have put on more weight than what I probably ever in my whole entire life. So the last thing that I have written down here, which I'm sure, like, as time goes, more things will come to my brain, but this was my list that I could come up with between last night and tonight for stuff that is important to me. And the last thing would be is to stay positive. Positive thoughts bring positive change. You know, if I keep thinking all this negative and, you know, that there's no hope, there's no this, there's no that, that's the kind of life you have, is a negative, yucky, you know, not good for the soul kind of life. You think that way, it makes you sick. It really does. Like, I can't stand to be around negativity. Someone that's negative all the time and just gripes and complains and bitches and moans about this, and that. I can't stand it. It drives me insane. It will physically make me sick, and it'll make me cranky, because their gunk is coming on to me. So, I think I rambled on this. Yeah, we're going on 30 minutes here. So yes, this is my goals for my channel, my craft, and myself. So, like I said, if you have any ideas of what you'd like for me to do, teach you, show you, entertain you with, let me know. I mean, I'm up for games. Yes, my channel is mainly all about crocheting, but eventually I do make candles. I might bring you along with one time while I make candles. And if I ever get the chance to start dyeing yarn, I'm going to bring you along with me to watch the process. I make a lot of jewelry. Well, I don't even make jewelry. I make stitch markers now. So, I mean, this whole area over here is just nothing but a lot of beads. A lot of stuff over here. So, yeah. Once the rest of my delivery gets here from Amazon, my next video today is going to be my acquisitions. I have one here that I'm excited about. So I'm just going to let it here. I'm waiting for everything else to show you. So I have my acquisitions video. This one is mainly just for my 2022 goals. I think I was saying 2021 earlier. 2022. So, yes, if you could, share my channel, subscribe, hit the like button, hit that notification bell, and know that you're loved, know that you're beautiful, and know you're worth the same as everybody else in this world. And if this world could find kindness and love, I think that there could be so much more to life, to be kind to one another, to care about one another. There's just so much awfulness in this world nowadays. There's so much hatred. That makes me sick too, you know. But that's a whole other story there. So anyways, guys, I love you. And I will talk to you later.